Section 8.1, example 2. Recall last time we talked about collecting data to find out things about our population, and our data was called this random sampling, and we would use that to try to see the bigger picture of what the population looks like. Now here we'll talk about 5 ways we can display the data using graphs and charts that will demonstrate what we found. All right. The 5 ways are frequency distribution, pie charts, bar graphs, histograms, and line graphs. All right, so the first example here is a frequency distribution. On the left, we have a table showing column 1 is the number of pets that people have in their house, and then that's 0 through 5. And then on the right is how many of those we found. So for example, 0 pets, there were 12 households. 1 pet, we found 13 households. 2 pets was 10, and so on. And another example would be texting per month. How many text messages someone sends per month? And the lowest we found was 100. So between 100 and 150, there was 11 people. 150 to 200 was 18, and so on. So these are called frequency distributions. Okay. Next type is pie chart. You've probably all seen these. On the left we have our table, and we have our grades A through F, as well as an incomplete, and the frequency that they occurred. There was 4 people with an A, 8 people with a B, 7 C's, etc. And then we turn that into a pie chart on the right. So 35% of the chart is the B's, and that represents 8 out of the total people that were surveyed. Came out to 35%. All right, and then let's look at A's. There was 4 A's out of our, looks like 23 people. And over here I see the A represents blue, and I look at the blue, and that is 17% of our actual pie chart. Okay. Another one is the bar graph, and on the left we have basketball points scored in game 1. All right, and now this is a stacked bar graph, so each person on the graph here has blue, orange, and gray. And the blue is going to represent their 2-point shots. Orange is how many 3-pointers they made, and the gray is going to be free throws. Okay, so for each person, let's look at Jenny. Over here on the table, she had 16 2-pointers, 3 points worth of 3-pointers, and 1 free throw. And that shows up here with a lot of blue representing the 2-pointer shots, 16 points worth, the 3 points of orange for the 3-pointer, and 1 point worth for the gray for the free throw. All right, fourth type is a histogram, and that is a bar graph, and each bar represents a range of possible outcomes. So the first range in Chapter 7 test scores was 40 to 49, and there was 2 of them. So 40 to 49, and the bar graph goes up to a 2. And notice that the whole range is covered, 50 to 59, 60 to 69. So every score falls in one of these ranges and then adds to the stack or the bar over here on the graph. Okay, and then the fifth one is a line graph, and those are used a lot in time, what happens over time. So from January to June, we have an average temperature for the month, and it goes up from 5 to 17 in February to 21 in March, and we put that here on a line graph, and we can visually see the temperature increasing as the average temperature for the month goes up. Okay, so those are our 5 types of graphs that we'll see. Let's try your skills at this. Look at these 4, pause the lesson here for a second, and in these 4 blanks, find the appropriate type of graph that would be used. Okay, we're back, and let's just look real quickly what your answers were. Yeah, the first one, if we're looking at percentages of things, it would be the pie chart. And for change over time is the line graph, like the temperature each month. And then outcomes each time something occurs would be a frequency distribution. And finally, the things are split up into numbers and classes. Then we would have the histogram.